Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome too. And if you're here from my last video, which was uploaded however many hours ago, it was also uploaded today, the reaction to the Stranger Things 5 teaser trailer. Here is my breakdown of the trailer. There'll be stills from the trailer and everything like that in this video, so if you still have not seen the trailer, I do recommend that you go watch it. You can either watch my reaction to it, or you could just go watch it on your own if you don't feel like watching somebody freak out over Steve Harrington every time he comes on the screen. Okay, so I have 10 things of note from the trailer. Technically 9, because one, which I'll be talking about right now, was from Ross Duffer's Instagram, said that the teaser pulls from every episode except for episode 7, and that mostly everything from the trailer is only from volume 1. There's 3 volumes. Well, there's 2 volumes and then the finale, by the way. So, it's mostly from volume 1. So, kind of like with Stranger Things 4, we're going to have the regular trailer that was just volume 1, and then we're gonna get probably a volume 2 trailer, and then we're probably gonna get a finale trailer. I imagine the finale is gonna be damn near 3 hours long, because the majority of the cast, as well as the Duffers, have said that in filming, it was like they were filming a feature-length film each episode. So yes, it's going to be very long. The season's gonna be very long, and I know a lot of people complain about that, but I'm like, people like me who are clearly insane freak fans about the show, I literally, one, I don't care about how much time there has been between the seasons. I'm sorry. 2, I don't care how long the show is or the episodes or anything. Like, I want to watch. I'm here to watch, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna complain about the runtime. I only do that about Oscar bait movies. So, now, into the trailer. Besides from the opening shots, there is a very heavy military presence in this season. There's been a heavy military presence in every season, kind of going, because of the whole Cold War thing and everything like that. So, the Cold War thing, you know. But, especially after season 4, and the town essentially blows up because of the rift and everything, the military kind of takes over. There's literally a scene where the entirety of downtown Hawkins is just like gated off. Like, you can't go there, because at the library, that's where the big split happened. We also see Linda Hamilton's character kind of for the first time, and it does seem like she is a military leader. So the military seems as if they are taking charge, seeing what is going on, but can you really trust the military? Can you trust the government? I don't think so. So that is why for point 3, we have the gang. This is right in the beginning of opening shot. Steve Harrington. The Duffers know their audience. The gang is talking about the burn, and it seems as though they are going to be taking the burn into their own hands, probably because the military isn't doing it fast enough, / they actually don't know anything about it, and they won't talk to this group of random people in Hawkins that have been fighting this thing for, well, timeline in the show, what, like 4 or 5 years? In real life, 10. So then we'll talk to those people. So we have Steve in the van controlling this spinny thing where a number goes up, which kind of looks like the DeLorean and how they go back in time. But that's just me. And then we have Lucas and Mike biking off somewhere. And then we also have Lucas watching somewhere with binoculars, and he's got his headband thing on. When the Duffers said that this season is going to pull a lot from season 1 and 2, like, characters are looking so much like they were in the early seasons, and that is just so nostalgic and heartwarming for me personally. Now we're gonna go into number 4, which is Max. She's still in a coma. She's in a coma for the whole 2 scenes that she's in, because she is in more than one, okay? I didn't notice this on the first time. I had to notice it as I was going through, but after we see Lucas holding hands with Max and being there for her and stuff like that, we see that there are demodogs in the hospital, okay? They've breached the hospital. And Lucas has Max in his arms. And she's still in a coma. But he has to make sure that she doesn't die or get eaten. And so he's most likely carrying her around this hospital and trying to protect her. That's what Max is up to. We still haven't seen her up and kicking, so here's to hoping she does open her eyes at some point in the show. Who knows? Now number 5, which we already knew from a couple of stills that have come out and from the behind the scenes video that came out last year. Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and Dustin are a group, and they go to the lab in the Upside Down. And if you caught in the trailer, and if you didn't, here we go, it's the breakdown. In the trailer, we see Steve in the car, and he drives through a gate, which I am assuming is this first gate that we saw where the military was. So they somehow, I think, breached the gate, which it's once again kind of giving Back to the Future in the sense where they had to, like, you have to drive fast enough to actually break time and space. And they do technically go back in time. They do technically go back in time because the Upside Down is stuck in the past, whatever. Steve drives them through the gate because we also see in the behind the scenes video and other stills that the 4 of them are in a car together. And they end up at the lab. What they're doing in the lab, I'm not sure. Maybe they think Vecna's there. Maybe they think something, I don't know. Something is there. Obviously, like, the first gate was there. The lab is a huge part of why the Upside Down exists. Nancy has her guns. They had to put that in the trailer as well. They said, don't worry, your girl still has her guns. She's still having fun with those things. But then we also have Jonathan and Nancy having a bit of a heart-to-heart in the Upside Down, which, hey Jonathan, welcome to the Upside Down. First time of his character being in there after 5 seasons, which is kind of insane. But they're having a very emotional heart-to-heart, and they look very distraught, and it's giving very much, you know what, we've done this thing and we're gonna get through it again. But then it cuts to Nancy washing blood off of her hands and she's sobbing. So one can only infer that Jonathan is in deep shit. And kind of similar in that vein, there is a scene of Dustin and Steve hugging, but to me it's kind of looking like Dustin is hugging Steve in relief. Like, Steve doesn't look worried, but Dustin has been crying. It kind of looks like Dustin is hugging Steve in relief of being like, oh my god, you're here, I thought something happened to you. And you know, in those kinds of scenes in a lot of movies where it's like the character seems like they're fine, they're like, oh my god, no, I'm fine, why are you hugging me? And then all of a sudden something comes through their stomach and kills them. That's kind of what it's giving to me, and I don't like speaking that into the universe. However, that's kind of what it's giving to me, and I don't like it! I don't like it! So, in that quartet, I'm feeling nervous for the men. Now, number 6. We see a shot of a kid jumping from tree to tree with a Demogorgon chasing them. And we know that that is season 1 Will, because again, from the behind the scenes video that we got last year, there's shots of a young Will jumping from a tree to tree. Like, he's like falling out of a tree, blah, 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 he's doing something. And we know that that's going to be probably, most likely, the opening scene, because as we know, like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. No, not 4 years ago. 3 years ago, we got the opening shot, or what we know is going to be the opening shot of season 5, and it's starting with Will, season 1 Will in the Upside Down. And so you can bet your ass that that's going to be within the first 8 minutes before the title page thingy pops up. We're gonna get a lot of season 1 Will. Will in this trailer in general, he's kind of all over the place. He's fainting, he's touching his neck, he's being something by Vecna or a Demogorgon, who knows. So there's him. Number 7, Hopper and Elle. Obviously, they're a team, father and daughter. There's a part in the trailer where Elle is just like fully on the ground and Hopper is like laying over her, but then she's also on the ground when he takes 2 grenades and throws them up in the air, and then maybe he goes like this to protect her. That part seems a little confusing to me, but regardless, they are a team. And then there's also the part where Hopper says, "Let's finish this kid," and you can only assume that he's talking to Elle, and she has this sort of helmet thing on, which looks a little similar to what she would wear in season 1 when she went to the sensory deprivation tank at the lab. So, and I'm pretty sure they are in the Upside Down as well, but they seem to be mostly inside of a building, so you can't really tell. Number 8, I have this because it kind of just like, it happens in the fast sequencing of towards the end of the trailer, and the boys look like they are in the season 2 tunnels. Like they're just kind of running around in a tunnel, and that it's reminiscent of season 2. There's one of Lucas where he is obviously like on the ground in the tunnel and he looks a little scared, and then there's one of them running. So not sure what that's about. I don't know where they're going, but something's happening there. And then number 9, Elle is literally flying. She is flying over the bus that the kid in the junkyard that the kids have used many a time. And it sort of kind of looks like it is going to be maybe like a practicing montage or something. Like she's trying to harbor her skills, like really work in her powers, practicing and stuff. Mike will probably be there. Like she has like a thing around her head as well. So either that was down around her eyes at some point, or she was trying to do something, who knows. But she's flying over the bus. So obviously her powers are stronger. She's working on them. And then last but not least, at number 10, we have Vecna. He goes, "Found you." What a silly guy. And in the poster that we got yesterday, he has one eye. Kind of like Eddie says in the first episode of season 4, you know. The party thinks that they've defeated him, but then all of a sudden, Eddie's like, Vecna's still alive. He's got one eye. He's still here. He's there, and he seems stronger than ever. He is doing something with his hand, either making fire or stopping fire. Which, as we know, fire is the only thing that's supposed to kill everything and anything in the Upside Down. And it looks like it's not affecting him. So that doesn't seem very good. That, for me personally, is my takeaway from this trailer. There are obviously other scenes like Holly and Karen in a tub hiding from something or someone. Something's going on up top. I don't know. Like, that's kind of like, what the hell's going on? There's a bunch of other things where it's just kind of like, what is happening? But for the most part, these are my major takeaways and kind of what I wanted to talk about. And yeah, that's kind of all that I have for this breakdown. Let me know what you guys are most shocked about, or what you're scared about, or what you're excited to see, who you're excited to see, what you think's gonna happen, theories. Anything you want to talk about, you can leave it in the comments below. I'm gonna be replying. Don't be afraid to apply to other people. Think about what your thoughts, if you guys have the same thoughts, everything like that. Use this video as just a discussion post, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.